Well, Pacelli and Boomer, they're grizzled and gray, talking about Star Wars from back in the day. Got a talk show called Geeky Geezers, it's true, spinning old tales about the stuff that went through. From Atari to Shrek, they know every line. Geeky Geezers, man, they're feeling just fine. Late Savvy's got a lightsaber, swings it with pride. Boomer's got a game, but plays it deep in the night. They're ranting about He-Man and old X-Men too. On Geeky Geezers, they're the nerdiest crew, talking Transformers toys that twist and they turn, singing blues for the geek life, their hearts still burn. Oh, Geeky Geezers, they're living the dream, talking comics and movies, they're busting the seams. From Battlestar reruns to D&D lore, they're preaching the gospel of geek evermore. Pacelli and Boomer, they'll never grow old. Geeky Geezers with hearts made of gold. They're sitting in the studio, mics turned up loud, reminiscing about Super Friends, feeling so proud. Pacelli loves Spider-Man, Boomer's for Hulk. They argue about Star Trek with passionate both. From Betamax tapes to their old D20s, Geeky Geezers where the nostalgia flows. They got fans in the chat, from the young to the old, tuning in to hear stories that never get told. Talking Ghostbusters, Proton Packs, toys in the box, and Saturday mornings with cartoons that rock. Pacelli and Boomer, they're keeping it real. Geeky Geezers with that old school feel. Oh, Geeky Geezers, they're living the dream, talking comics and movies, they're busting the scenes. From Battlestar reruns to D&D lore, they're preaching the gospel of geek evermore. Pacelli and Boomer, they'll never grow old. Geeky Geezers with hearts made of gold. They're singing the blues for the games that they play, for the VHS tapes and the arcades that pray. But the spirits are young, though their hair's turning white. Geeky Geezers keep the nerd fire alight, so tune in each week to the Geeky Geezers show, where Pacelli and Boomer let the good times flow. From X-Files to X-Men, they're dropping the news, singing praises of geek life with them old blues. Pacelli and Boomer, forever they'll be. Geeky Geezers living wild and free.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to live Oscar coverage. We'll be going into detail with
everything.
No?
No.
You don't care?
No.
Anyway,
No.
welcome to...
Does anybody care? I kind of wonder.
Deleted scenes, I'm sure, will give us the lowdown when things start getting announced. I'm assuming it's going on now. I could be wrong. Is it tonight? I thought it was tonight. Welcome, everyone, to Geeky Geezers. In case you can tear yourself from the Oscars, you can listen to us talk about the latest in geek news. So, I'm your host, Agent Boomer. This is my co-host, Pacelli.
Co-host just here to chat because I did absolutely nothing on this stream this time. I didn't do the notes this week. I didn't set up the stream. It was all Agent Boomer. I can't even consider myself to be a producer on tonight's episode. That's
you absolutely are. Stop. You have a lot on your plate this week because you're making a special trip, and I will be seeing you in a few days.
Yes, you will.
And
you have a shorter drive than I do, though.
Yeah, but it's
still not fun. Huh?
Well, the problem is that it's lately because everyone keeps moving here. That's why it's been worse. But anyway, also welcome Netter of Netters Network, also known as the Geezette.
Good evening. Yeah, I'm here just to be cute.
Talk about somebody who's going to have rough travels. Tomorrow, she's got at least, Boomer, you don't have to travel in the snow.
Yeah, this is crazy. It's like our AI always gives us weather updates. And supposedly from 11 p.m. tonight Central Time until it used to be 1 p.m. Central tomorrow. Now it's 10 p.m. Central tomorrow. There's going to be snow.
It has actually already started snowing. It's 32 degrees right now.
Oh, yay. And a whopping 9 degrees.
Well, it's going to get down to a whopping 9 degrees. Yeah, exactly. It's currently exactly freezing. But she's got to leave buku early in the morning to get to a meeting.
Downtown Chicago.
Downtown.
Yeah. I have to leave by 6:30. And my original route was it would take me an hour and a half to get there with any traffic. It's like if the snow holds me up, I don't care.
Yeah. So, and this is all just before we have to then do the Tuesday thing. So you're off on Tuesday, though, right?
No, I'm off on Monday, but I could take Tuesday off if I really wanted to.
Because I thought we were leaving right after liquid lunch on Tuesday.
Oh, you mean this Tuesday?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
my next
yeah.
Tuesday. Yeah,
Exactly. Okay.
yeah. I'm off Tuesday of this week until next Monday.
There you go.
But I could take off the following Tuesday if I really wanted to.
But thank you very much, Boomer, because you gave me that time. I was able to get
Oh yeah, that's fine.
clips set up throughout next week for to fill the gaps in all the liquid lunches and last call.
Well, I
there's
also
no guarantee we can stream from Orlando. We can try.
I would.
But I don't.
That's the after party night anyway, so you want to be hopping.
Well, but how on brand would that be for last call? Though?
It would be, yes. But Netter's Network, welcome. She's in the chat. Actually, we got a lot of people in the chat tonight. Look at this, and it was a stream I made up.
It is a busy stream.
They want to make sure we're going.
Yeah, they're leaving. Let's make sure they get out the door. Yeah.
Hello, my friends. Hope everyone's having a wonderful evening. Don't you want to watch the Oscars, people? Come on.
Make sure you check out Big Al's 10-word review of Starfleet Command, where he switches his review numbering from stars to feet.
I'm sure she has lovely feet. Anyway,
he does. I mean, don't get me wrong; they just don't belong up on her desk or hanging over the edge of the captain's chair. It's just saying.
We keep it casual here in Starfleet. Come on.
There's casual and there's casual.
They need Captain Jellicoe's descendant to go on that show and just
right.
Everybody.
Oh my gosh! Actually, I did see somebody did a clip of that where they had her doing all that crap and then Jellicoe doing his dressing down of Deanna Troy. Just saying.
Welcome, Connie Cleary. And I did want to mention Unscripted Right. Thank you, Ruby.
Thank you so much. Yes, she is encouraging my wife with a gifted membership to Captain Fandom Nerd. Thank you so much, Ruby.
Thank you, sweetie.
Very channel Captain Fandom Nerd. That sounds like
how early I gotta get up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Welcome. Happy Sunday. What's up, all? Zatopia. Welcome. Always good to see you. JPRPH1, D Penzek. Thank goodness the Geek to distract us from the Oscars tonight. I used to watch the Oscars back in the old days. I remember because you used to have 5 movies and you were always curious what was going to win, but then they went to 9 and it threw me off. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know. The deleted scenes, welcome. You can let me see. Celebrates 21 months of membership.
How cool is that? Thank you so much.
Good to see you. All right, and let me keep scrolling down here. I lost the bar thingy. I hate that.
Yeah, and you can't really grab a hold of it. I just use the.
I can plug in my mouse. That might be the smart thing.
I use the slider on my mouse.
Yeah, I should do that. In fact, I have it right here because I was working on my project earlier. So let me do that. Look at this. Get all snug in there. It's a special micro USB mouse, as Mac has gone micro USB.
Good.
No, she has old lady feet. You know something? I wasn't paying that close attention, if I'm being honest here. Makeup and hairstyling Frankenstein. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because good makeup in Frankenstein. So now I go over here and I click on presentation, right?
Yes. You can do it that. Yeah. See? You don't have to wait on me.
Terrifying.
Just to heck with you, Troy. I'm just doing my show.
Well, it's going to come down to that next week because you will be on the road. But Stephen Deleted Scenes Alton has agreed to show up here. And Big Al, I'm going to shoot a thing your way in case you're also interested in popping by. Probably won't be as long a stream, but we'll have something going on. I could also talk a little bit about what I saw. The 7th guest.
I love this
good old
game.
Days.
I love this game. This came out in '93. Netter and I had only been married for about 2 years. I had gotten, I think it was my first, was it a 386 computer? Graphics back then, guys, you got to understand, very, very different than they are today. So there was a lot of, let me see what, yeah, it was all done on a CD-ROM. So you'd put the CD into the drive, and whenever it would get to a musical piece, it would get to a cut scene or whatever,
Actors.
it would literally play off of the CD-ROM. And yes, with actual actors. Now, these actors, what was really cool is I'm sure you've seen these old, live, where it was very clear that it was actors in front of a green screen. The green screen in this case, of course, there you go. That's a perfect example. This is the actual computer generated interior of the house with an actress playing a ghost. But they took advantage of the blue screen or green screen or whatever it was they were using to give that kind of ethereal kind of, see-through effect. You can kind of see that you're seeing through her legs and skirt at the bottom there. As she got closer, she'd have been all translucent. And it was a really cool way to kind of hide some of the shortcomings of the medium.
Okay.
Fairly low res.
Okay. You keep saying shortcomings. At this time, this was state of the art.
I understand. I'm just saying,
Yes.
compared to the way we look at it, they had limitations that do not exist today. So they had to find very clever ways to work within their medium, and I thought they did a brilliant job. Let me tell you, this game was full of ambiance. The sound effects, the music especially. There is your big baddie, Mr.
It's like a haunted house.
It is a haunted house.
Yeah, you're kind of stuck in the house and trying to figure out how to get out alive.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you'll be the seventh guest.
Exactly. Okay. It is implied that you are. So this is Henry Stoff, of course, the owner of the mansion in which the game takes place. Stoff was a homeless drifter before who became a successful toy maker after a series of visions showed him the toys he would create. But the people of Harley know nothing of his past. They only know him as the eccentric old man who makes marvelous toys for children and became a hugely successful rags to riches story. His name, of course, being an anagram of Faust, because he actually made a deal to be successful. And let's just say the toys were they were cursed, and many
out of
children,
The Conjuring or Amityville Horror, these cursed objects, that sort of thing. Friday the 13th series. This game, I remember when this was coming out, all the gaming magazines at the time, they were screaming about this. This was it. This was the new technology. This was CD-ROM. Do you understand? Yep. It's like
yes.
Game, and granted, we had CD technology in games before this, but this was the first one where it was really being used for PCs. Nintendo was hyping up this game in Nintendo Power because Nintendo said, we're going to bring out a CD add-on drive for the Super Nintendo, and Nintendo, we have exclusive rights to the home console version.
Yeah.
Guess what? Nintendo never brought out the CD drive add-on. They think this was them trying to buy it. Did they buy it so Sega couldn't have it for their CD add-on? If this is the most popular CD-ROM game on computer, people might buy it on the Sega CD. Not as good, but it'll probably still be pretty good, and it would be like the cheaper alternative. But they kept it away from their competition.
Talk about timing.
Yeah.
Because Deleted Scenes just dropped a comment giving us an update on the awards. Visual effects, Avatar, Fire and Ash, which, as I've understood, are basically the same kind of graphics they used to bring us the seventh guest.
It makes sense. Well, no, it's interesting that you mentioned this because I watched a review of this. Apparently, the guy that did the music for this game was the guy that did the music for Maniac Mansion and Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Yes. George, the Fat Man Sanger.
Yeah, that's him.
Did the music. I'm trying to remember
A lot of Lucasfilm games. He did music for those.
He did, and I'm trying to remember if yes, you could. The second disc was a playable CD of the music, and it had the Skeletons in My Closet song from the ending of it. But and it's just really, really creepy incidental music. It's just great stuff.
This game actually does, from what I was reading, does give you the illusion of walking through a 3D environment, because what would happen was you would click on a part of the screen, you'd go to the next room, and it would and then you'd get to a animated cutscene of you going into the next still room, but it almost felt like you're actually walking in there. Do you understand?
It really did. Yeah. It might look a little cheesy today, but back in the day, it was hitting all those marks that now, they're actually struggling with the way they're doing it now, because the high renders eat up so much memory of trying to render every little step you take. Whereas here, it wasn't quite like that. Yeah, this is... every time you would solve a riddle or you would move into a room you'd never been in or whatever, you'd see these... it would be basically a cut scene that is the ghosts reenacting events that happened in the house. And what you're basically doing is you're putting together a puzzle of the lore of what happened in this house.
So what are these ghosts from, like the 1920s or something, or 30s?
1935, I
believe.
Yeah,
that's about right, because you have a guy who looks like a swami with like the thing around his head, and of course, you have
an aging flapper in one scene.
It's all very like.
Actually, I can even tell. I can kind of outline the plot for you. The game begins as a flashback in 1935 in the town of Harley on the Hudson. A drifter named Henry Stoff kills a woman to steal her purse, beginning a series of deplorable acts. He has a vision of a beautiful doll, and the next day begins carving it. He trades the doll for food, drink, and a place to stay at the local tavern. Stoff has other visions of dolls, toys, and crafts and sells these as well. Stoff becomes a successful toy maker. He uses his fortune to build a mansion at the edge of town, following another vision. At the same time, several children possessing Stoff toys contract a mysterious illness and die. Stoff disappears into his mansion and is never seen again. In the game's present, the narrator, the player character, named Ego, because you are the ego, awakens in Stoff's mansion. The mansion is deserted, but as Ego explores it, he has ghostly visions of events in the past. These visions all take place on a night sometime after the death of the children, where 6 guests were invited to Stoff's mansion. Martine Burden, a former singer, Edward and Eleanor Knox, a dissatisfied middle-aged couple, Julia Hine, a bank worker who reminisces on her youth, Brian Dutton, a fellow shop owner, and Hamilton Temple, a stage magician. The 6 arrive, but find no sign of Stoff or anyone else. They discover a number of puzzles that give them instructions. They learn that Stoff wanted them to bring a 7th uninvited guest, a boy named Tad, who enters the house on a dare. And I'm not going to go any farther with it, because...
Is that the kid in the baseball outfit?
Yes.
It looks like a baseball outfit. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Was it creepy, though? Was it like a...
It was very creepy throughout the whole thing. In fact, you're expecting all kinds of jump scares, and I don't remember there actually being any jump scares. If there were any, they tended to go toward the humorous. You know what I mean? Like if you opened up I don't know, let's just say a puzzle causes a what do they call those, Jack in the Box to pop open, and it's got a skull or something comes at you. Nothing big happens of it, and it's like but yeah, it's actually
Well, this is before Phantasmagoria.
Was it before Phantasmagoria?
Yes.
It may have been.
It's actually considered. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I do believe this was definitely before. What was that one? The puzzle game with the really great graphics. It was
Misc.
Where you're on an island. Misc. Yes.
Misc.
I believe this predated Misc. Misc kind of took this to us. In fact, I remember when we went to the game store, and Netta and I were like, we're looking for something like The Seventh Guest, and they're like, well, this new one, this Misc is getting a lot of great ratings and stuff, and so on and so forth. I'll be honest with you, the puzzles in Misc were hard to the point of ridiculous. Even when you knew what the solution was by reading a cheat, you're like, well, how the F would anyone ever guess
It's like Mensa level or something? Or
not even.
Yeah,
not
it'd be
even.
like, okay, to solve this puzzle, you have to, lift up the latch that's in this doorway that's hidden in this corner.
In a completely other location, and there's nothing that connects any of this stuff. And it's like, how would anyone even know this? This stuff, the puzzles are, I don't want to say they're straightforward, but they're all self-contained. And, if you have trouble, I actually do have see, back in the day, you couldn't just go online and look up solutions and stuff like that. You'd have to buy a book that had all.
You'd go to your local electronics store and said, where are the hint guides,
Exactly. And I have it just because I also I'll be honest, I just wanted everything connected to this. I really, really liked
They did a sequel called The 11th Hour. I don't know if you ever ended up.
I had that one too, and all of the books that went with it. Now, freeze right here. You have, look at this room. This is obviously a computer-generated room and whatnot.
Rendered.
Exactly. You could walk to the back of this room and you'll see that there's a telescope looking out the window, and you could actually look through that telescope, and you would actually have to solve a certain puzzle to go through that door. But in the foreground here, you'll notice something very, very interesting. There's a table with a book on it, and there's a skull with a brain. That's not just sitting there on the table. That's actually the cursor in this screen. Yeah. And the brain would kind of pulse when it was over a puzzle that you could solve.
Yeah. It was kind of cool.
I mean, it looks neat. It reminds me almost of like that I Spy Spooky Night book, but made into a game.
There are elements of a room like this that were like that, because you would have to really look and see, does that book look like it's something you could take, and then you go over and you move. The brain would become like a skeletal hand, giving you that you might be able to interact with stuff, and you'd have to click on a book to see if you could move it and stuff like that. So yeah.
Like I said, I remember being hyped for this back in the day because, like I said, it was going to come out on the Super Nintendo CD-ROM add-on that was being developed by Sony for the Super Nintendo.
I'm sorry, man. I had the PC, so I was able to play it.
And it's, you know what the code name of this add-on was?
What?
PlayStation.
Wow, there you go.
They argued that Nintendo showed Sony all their secrets and then decided we're not bringing out the CD-ROM, and they think that Sony said, what have we learned, and we'll bring out our own console in the next generation.
There you go.
So they kind of screwed Sega over, but then they ended up creating another competitor. So what can you do? This is gaming. Yeah. This is the gaming wars. But I always was curious about this game. Apparently there is a remastered version of this game that is available on PC and console right now. I didn't realize this came out a couple years ago. Now that's not it's not the news I have tonight. That's something else that's related to this.
So I will tell you another for those especially those of you that might be planning to play this game. I told you about the puzzle that's against that window. You can look through the telescope. Back up.
Yeah.
Right there in the very middle back there, you see that there's a a statuette on the wall.
Yeah.
If there's a puzzle involving that you can turn that and then push that oval piece, and that becomes a secret passage into that wall.
Very neat. Does it lead to another room?
It does. It does. And in fact, you're able to, you have like many of these kinds of games today, you can leave this view to look at a map, an overhead map of the floor plan of the mansion that fills in as you go. So places you've been before, it's assumed you can get back there and reference and stuff like that. But then if you discover a secret passage, that secret passage is then drawn in and stuff.
Oh, very neat.
Yeah.
I have a question. This guy the Swami, does he talk about I feel the spirits in this place, that sort of thing, or is it like
not well, kind
of? Is he just a con artist?
He is very much. He's a stage magician
Okay.
who isn't really very successful any longer. People have kind of lost. So he does certainly try to do the whole theatrical kind of thing, but yeah, nobody really buys it.
The end is the beginning, and the beginning is the end. And I'm thinking of Nostromos from Batman the Animated Series. They got a guy like him on there who was always predicting like horrible things would happen, and Batman goes undercover basically as himself, as Bruce Wayne, to infiltrate because he's targeting rich people, and he goes, "Wow, this guy's awfully deep." Like he's playing Bruce Wayne up to be the idiot. What the heck is this? This looks like a clown.
Yeah,
dude, why? No.
Creep you the hell out. Yeah, I do remember this being a very creepy scene. Yeah.
Do you remember this at all, Netter? Was there a clown in this game? Did he like go up right up to the screen and just say?
I vaguely remember it.
Would you like some candy? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All the scenes were very interactive. That's one thing I really liked about it. And you would find yourself like, okay, they were talking about this thing. Where in the house is that? And when you find yourself going back through rooms to see if you could find the thing that the other person was talking about, one of these ghosty images.
I did want to mention too that, like I said, the house was very much, it felt like a character unto itself. And you've heard me say this about, the Charmed house and so many other houses that I will say I never actually did try to recreate this house in The Sims. I just didn't bother, but I did read a lot about this house, and it is actually based on a real house in Jacksonville, Oregon.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's
very interesting. Here's another one of those puzzles.
Oh my gosh, I kind of loved and hated this puzzle. This is one of those ones where you have to cut it in a very specific way so that you had, I can't remember if it was like you had to have 3 of a kind on it, or you had to have a skull, a gravestone, and a blank spot. And there was a way to do it, and you had to figure it out. But
it was a pain in the butt.
The other thing is, just like I said, I can't remember what it was you had to do. You don't know going into it what you need to do. You try different things, and it would, it would go through the reset that basically says you failed. So just when you thought, oh, I got it. No, I guess I don't.
Would there be a creepy voice saying you failed, try again, that sort of thing or something?
No. Sometimes it was creepy in its silence. You had music that was playing that was creepy.
I see.
But it seemed like it kind of wanted to let you. Most of the time what would happen is stuff would needle you at the end of a scene, so not like during the puzzle itself.
I got
so
you.
It wasn't like super. Yeah, some of the most annoying things they didn't do, which is kind of nice. Damn, now that I'm looking at that, I want to make that cake.
Oh, it's a cake.
Yeah, that's a cake. You had to slice up into pieces. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's a cellular peptide,
which is
cake.
kind of
okay.
Yeah, which is kind of funny. Which is why I guess you have the bone saws all around it. You see those?
Oh yes. Okay. Are those sugar skulls? Is that what those are supposed to be? I don't know.
I'm looking at this going, yeah, I could totally make this with sugar skulls and
Might be something for Halloween time, right?
I totally could do that. Yeah.
And of course,
Of
this was a
course,
weird puzzle. And look at this puzzle. I think this is a puzzle game with the portrait, but look at that. Are those demonic horns coming out of his head there that I'm seeing here?
Yes. And I can't remember if you were trying to turn him into a devil or turn him into stuff. You could see like the hair in the upper left hand and the face in the lower left hand is normal. And this was kind of like those tic-tac-toe-ish type puzzles.
Right.
And I don't really remember the details on this. Yeah, it's a real fuzzy memory. It makes me kind of want to play this again. But
yeah, you had to kind of slide the squares around to complete the puzzle.
Right.
And
I'm pretty sure, you know what I think it is? I think the bottom half is cut off, and that's where all the pieces are. And you'd have to rearrange because you only had the one open spot. You know, those kinds of puzzles? You have to slide this and slide this and slide this to get the one in.
I see. So yeah, it's like those types of and you have to like rearrange everything just right.
I was actually pretty good at those, but it was a little bit time consuming.
That's
the other thing. Nicely, there wasn't a whole lot of what do you call it? I don't think there were really any timed events. Maybe the last one was, but most of them weren't.
That's good. Timers are always a pain in the butt.
Yes, they are.
But yeah. Sorry, you have to go, Sashi. We'll see you next time.
Take care, Sashi.
All right. And is that it for that? Okay. Well, anything left to say about the seventh guest? I guess we covered it pretty well. We're gonna follow up with it though in a little bit, though.
Yeah.
It was a very fun game. I might actually still have our copy.
I bet we do, and the 11th guest.
Well, remember, I've been selling some of the
and I did tell you, if you sell them, you have to sell it with the book. They go together, in my opinion.
The music CD, too.
Yes, exactly. Oh, gosh, this was such a great game. I really loved this game. I always was wishing they'd make it into a movie. It so could be made into a movie. It would have to, you'd have to, in your mind, as you're piecing the movie together, you'd have to think about it like the movie Clue. But maybe not quite so humorous.
You'd get like your cast of various actors.
Yeah.
Lynn Green says 23 minutes behind. YouTube afforded me the option to watch a good movie, Seven Samurai. Never heard of it.
You goof. Well, you could always watch this in like fast forward to get caught up. You know.
No, I was talking to someone at work the other day. It's like when you're taking a history of film class, you're going to either watch Seven Samurai or The 400 Blows. I watched The 400 Blows, and she said, no, we watched Bicycle Thieves. Oh, of course, that'd be the third one, Bicycle Thieves. You get a Japanese, an Italian, or a French movie, basically. That's how you do those three.
Okay.
But for me, it was 400 Blows. That was the one they showed us, the French New Wave movie by Francois Truffaut. Very important French director. But moving on to, unfortunately, yikes, we do have an unfortunate news story tonight, and might help if I actually had my notes handy. Give me one moment here. But you, of course, remember her from Ghostbusters, right? Was she the one in the room with Bill Murray when the
she's the one who wasn't any more particularly psychic than anybody else, but he was attracted to her, understandably so.
Yeah. He's shocking the poor guy.
Yeah.
But this is Jennifer Runyon, the 80s actress, the love for Rose in Ghostbusters, and Charles in Charge. I remember Charles in Charge. She was on that. Yes.
Yep. Yes, she was.
Cause of death confirmed cancer. Erin Murphy, who starred as young Tabitha Stevens in Bewitched, confirmed that her dear friend had lost her battle with cancer. So sad to share, my friend Jennifer Runyon Corman has passed away after a brief battle with cancer. Murphy shared via social media on Sunday, March 8th. She was a special lady. I'll miss you, Jen. My thoughts are with your family and beautiful children. Runyon's mother-in-law, Nan Corman, gave the most detailed account Friday night. We lost Jen to cancer. She fought for 6 months. Oh, that's rough. I left us all devastated. Life goes on, but Jen will never be forgotten for being the perfect wife and daughter-in-law. I feel horrible when I read stories like this. I'll be honest with you. This is, I mean, like you said though, you never know. We're never guaranteed another day, I guess, are we? But
that's exactly right. Yeah.
But I am sorry that she. But Life Outside Holiday on March 9th, 1991, Runyon married Todd Corman, a collegiate basketball coach with stints at Loyola Marymount, Oregon State University. Couple had 2 children. Okay, well, cool. I mean, she worked as a teacher and hosted a cooking podcast. All right, well, that's cool. All right, well, you can still find that podcast somewhere, but yeah, kind of
Most
sad.
recent photos still very, very attractive. I mean, she kept her looks all her life.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, you know. Just, man, sad, very sad.
Yeah, it's depressing. All right, but rest in peace, and at least she had, you know, she'll be missed.
Yes.
Rest in peace, deleted scenes. Thank you, deleted scenes. I wonder if, well, I guess it's too late for her to have got one of those Oscar remembrances because it just happened. But
true.
I don't know. I like the cover for this. This is a game.
I kind of do too. I don't know what this is, but I kind of dig it.
You got the dude with the. Okay, this is so bizarre. I had to read.
This looks like a game I would totally play.
Well, it's on Steam. It's on Steam. It's not on console yet. It's on Steam though. This is the game. Retro shoot 'em up platformer Haunted Lands, out now on Steam. Verge Paint Games dropped the Future Games Showcase with new game picture of upcoming Lovecraftian horror title Ritual Tides. The game is being built by. That's not it. Hold on. Give me a moment. This is why we have links, just in case. Bear with me.
Okay, it's 20% off right now on Steam.
I got it.
Oh my gosh, it is $4.79 right now on Steam.
Yeah.
$4.79.
$4.79. You can get it bundled with Necrosmith, whatever that is, for a total of $5.11.
I don't know what Necrosmith is. That sounds interesting. But this is a blood-soaked retro platformer challenges player to defend sacred burial grounds for endless waves of cultists, demons, and nightmarish creatures crawling out of the dark, sporting old-school pixel graphics reminiscent of early 90s platformers. You'll choose from 6...
It really does look like that. Yeah, it's yeah, if you check it out on Steam, you can actually see the it's a side-scroller.
I think it's meant to look like a computer side scroller, like a DOS side scroller, which is odd because there weren't too many of those. But I don't think they were trying to go for like a Nintendo or Sega side scroller. I think they're trying to make it look like something that would have been out on PCs back in the day. That's the impression I got.
I mean, it honestly looks a lot like those. What are those vampire ones like with the wall chicken?
Castlevania.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that. Yeah.
Yes. The burial grounds are vast and themed with old crypts and tombs to explore that are crawling with evil spirits, elite versions of enemies, and several challenging bosses. Acquire artifacts to enhance the offensive and defensive prowess of your character, and discover the most powerful artifacts to entirely change your character's skill sets. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it looks cool. That's what I want to say. Some indie games are kind of neat. We have I guess there was an indie showcase this week, so I'm having a lot of this stuff here. But I don't know. This might be where I'm sorry. I just love the characters. These look like solid Midwestern folk fighting the undead.
I agree.
That's what it looks like.
I agree.
So, all right.
I honestly do feel like there's people like that in a horror movie or in a game that would, when crazy stuff happens, zombies come back, demons, whatever. It's like, I don't know what it is. I don't know where they came from. Don't care. I'm going to blast it. You know?
I hate to say this, in zombie apocalypse, it's always the hillbillies that make out the best. They know how to use the guns.
And they don't get all wrapped up with, do you think it was the government? Do you think it was a virus? Do you think it was I don't care.
Part of it is, that looks like good eating.
Well, it depends. It might.
It depends on what you're shooting at, I guess. Maybe the Squid Man? Calamari?
Honestly, it's funny because you playing Fallout 4, you're fighting like a giant lobster, and it's like you have the opportunity to take the meat and roast it, and it's like it's a giant lobster. I could effing eat this thing. Yes,
Why
yes,
not?
I will. You know.
But sound F11 sound. Well, why wouldn't it win sound? It had the best sound of any movie I heard for a while.
Yeah.
Especially when you're when you hear the surround sound of the cars racing. Anyway, another game coming out. I add in my description. Night Dive Studio tempts you to sin. It's a game. Sin
Sin
Reloaded.
Reloaded. I like that. Yeah.
I don't know if you heard of this game back in the
No.
day. This is another one of these boomer shooters I talk about, but it is a okay, 1998 cult classic, first-person shooter will launch 2026 for PC and console. Faithful new edition of Sin boasts enhanced remastered visuals, modernized control scheme, and includes Wages of Sin extra mission packets, time to pay for your sins, and then it has an expletive after that. This is set in the near future dystopian world. Sin Reloaded puts you in control of a security consultant, Colonel John R. Blade, as you take on the seductively evil Dr. Alexis Sinclair. When Alexis, CEO of Syntech Industries, begins injecting the streets with DNA-altering drug, it's time to release the laws of morality by facing off against Alexis' unholy army of genetically engineered mutants. This, you know what this reminds me of? Remember Tech Wars?
Yeah.
It kind of has that feel to it, that near future cyberpunk whole thing.
The gameplay of it looks a lot like later gen like Doom.
Quake. It uses the Quake 2 engine. They use the Quake 2 engine to make it.
And the graphics aren't like really good. They're kind of they're better actually than that James Bond game that everyone really likes.
GoldenEye. Well, yeah.
I
mean, this came out after GoldenEye. In fact, this is when 98. That's that's around the time these were pretty big, actually. So that's about right. But
it looks like it runs really smooth because obviously it doesn't have the. Oh, thank you so much, Ruby Hoove. Ruby Hoove dropped a gifted membership on me to Maddie's daddy. Welcome back to membership, I should say, Maddie's daddy. Welcome back. Hope you enjoy your time around, and thank you so much, Ruby Hoove. That was very sweet of you. I super appreciate that.
I think you and I keep clicking on it at the same time.
Yeah, probably.
The other person's
it happens. But yeah, this it's not yet available. You can put it on your wish list on Steam
or your game console of choice. It's coming out on everything. So yeah.
I'm not seeing a price on it either. Yeah,
it's Atari, which means they're going to be charging probably more than they would normally. I mean, it might be 30. Wait for it to go on sale if you don't want to pay that. That's
but it
the
looks
problem.
Like it's that Night Dive Studios that you've been talking about, and I've liked some of the stuff I've seen from them.
They're great. They were bought up by Atari, so now they work for them. But now they're still making the remasters. They did the Thing remastered. They did the Star Wars Dark Forces remaster last year. They're bringing back all the old school games. They did the Blade Runner game remaster. I like the fact that they're unearthing these old first-person shooters from the 90s, giving them a new lick of paint. I want them to go looking into maybe first those old adventure games from the PC from the late 90s, and maybe give those a remaster next. There are a lot of. I'd like to see Reaper get a remaster, which has Christopher Walken doing some ace acting in that game.
Let me tell you, I just feel I don't know what goes into reloading a game like the re-update, giving us a update on this. Do they have to go back to square one? Are they able to take an upgrade from the existing software? I don't really know how any of that works.
Here's what happens. They really like it when they have the original code because they can work with it. They had a real problem when they were doing Shadow Man remastered a few years ago because I think they only had the code for the PlayStation 1 game. And I think they had some pieces from other versions of the game. They had to almost redo a lot of from scratch because, of course, you can get the old games, but that's not the same as having the code that was used to build them. And the trouble is,
I see.
Games exchange hands. They lose the license because Shadow Man is, of course, a license from a comic book, and they this stuff gets lost over time. But they were able to redo that game and do it justice because I think they wanted to base it on the Dreamcast version because that was the best version, but they only had the
Yeah.
code for the PlayStation version, so it was them reworking it. And no, I like the fact they're unearthing these old games from the '90s and giving them a new look at paint. And in a lot of the cases, they're giving them new graphics too. Like these are new and
Yeah.
improved. These they in fact with Dark Forces is kind of neat because you can play with their graphics, or you can flip to the old graphics from the original PC game, and it looks a
Well,
little
and
jankier, you know.
I
Yeah.
feel like that sometimes if you do have the old code,
Yeah.
then upgrading the graphics might not be that difficult. You create a new model and you just say, this is the model for this, and you just insert that into the code.
Yeah, I
You
guess
know what
so.
I'm saying?
Yeah, that's probably what they do. Yeah, and it's just this looks like a classic. I guess I'll end up getting this on PlayStation because I'm not real big on getting things on Xbox right now. And when you buy it on PlayStation, they'll give you the PlayStation 4 version and the PlayStation 5 version. So if I ever get a PlayStation 5, I'll have a PS5 game ready for it.
There you go. Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't know if I'm ever going to get a PS5, but they usually, whatever, I'll say this for Night Dive, whatever you buy it on, they optimize it as best they can for whatever it's on. So you don't get like a crappy version if you buy it on your favorite console.
Yeah, one of those situations where, you know what, you should have gotten it on such and such platform or whatever.
7th Guest remake announced.
Interesting.
Not a remaster, because you can already get the remaster. This is a remake, a full-on remake, I guess built from the ground up, but trying to keep the classic feel of it. But let me see here. This is Vertigo Games has announced 7th Guest remake, a new remake of the classic 90s puzzle adventure game. The 7th Guest remake is in development for Windows PC via Steam and Good Old Games in the Epic Games Store, Xbox Series XS, Switch, and PlayStation 5 with a release set for later in 2026. Here's the rundown of the new remake plus a trailer. The 7th Guest is a full remake of the iconic mystery adventure. Rebuilt from the ground up using modern technology, the game features reimagined puzzles, newly realized environments, and newly recorded volumetric video performances, bringing the classic haunted mansion
Oh
and
my
mysteries
gosh.
to life.
They
Yes.
have a oh wow. So they have a like a demo of the graphics, kind of thing on Steam, and it looks great. Now the characters are not live actors; they are, computer generated, like
Yes.
you would expect from a modern game.
Yes.
But it definitely does have the same kind of feel to it.
Yeah. And like I said, you could still get the original if you want to try.
Moving through the
environments is now seamless because it's 3D. Right?
Oh my gosh, this looks so good.
I
got it on my wish list.
You're intrigued. You're going to put on your wish list with
It is on my wish list. It is
at
Hellraiser.
Yeah. Oh, Jessica Ardo says, Troy, I'm finally going to get a PlayStation 5 in 3 to 4 paychecks. Well, you'll be able to get this game on the PlayStation 5, Jesse. Yeah. So there you go. And just keep in mind, Jesse, if you had a PlayStation 4, your games should be fully compatible with the PlayStation 5. It is backwards compatible from what I heard. So you don't have to throw out your old library or anything. But no, this does look neat. Cinematic storytelling through volumetric video. Step aside the story. Using newly recorded volumetric video, live action performances are captured in full 3D, placing players. So they're still using actors.
Yeah. Okay. So it's the computer version of Rotoscope.
I see. And unique mind-bending puzzle gameplay. Iconic Haunted Mansion comes to live with high-end visuals and carefully redesigned puzzles. These will be new puzzles. Every puzzle is woven into the story and rooted in the mansion's lore and recognizable elements that pay homage to the original. Dynamic environments, the Haunted Mansion shifts and transforms through clever visual effects and optical illusions. Investigate every creepy nook and cranny, unlock new rooms, and uncover hidden secrets as the horrors within begin to close in.
Can I just say one thing, though? I'm looking at my wish list, and I'm really bothered because I keep adding things to my wish list, and none of them have become available yet. I'm looking at Silver Pines, which I'm wondering will ever get a release. I'm still waiting on that Clive Barker's Hellraiser revival. So it's like, come on.
Silver Pines, is that like a Twin Peaks?
You have Goat Simulator.
I do have Goat Simulator, though. That's true.
Yes, there's always Goat Simulator.
That is a hoot to play.
Yes, it's insanity is what it is. When is this coming out? Oh, later in 2026. Maybe if they play their cards right around Halloween, that's when they should probably release it. But I don't know, kind of neat. So I think that it will be a treat to play. And like I said, is it still coming out on regular Switch, or do I have to buy the Switch too? Because that's not happening.
I'm just gonna get it on PC. That's all there is to
I can
it.
get the original on PlayStation 4, so I think I'm gonna get it on that. But the old school one at some point. But yeah. Hello, welcome, Brother Jay.
Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. Well,
Um,
good. That's a little bit of good news. Defender of the Crown, the legend returns.
Are you familiar with Defender of the Crown?
I don't think so.
This is another game from the old Amiga days and maybe early PC DOS games. This was like I want to say like 12th century England game. Like you'd have jousting matches. You do like what's that thing where they fling the rocks to the castle, stuff like that. You know, it was like it was like supposed to be historical. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
the king has returned to claim his throne. Defender of the Crown, the legend return is announced. For me, this was a shocker. This is the writer. I never thought this would happen, as Defender of the Crown, a classic strategy game from the late 80s, is getting a modern release called Defender of the Crown, the legend returns. The new version will include the original Amiga version, but also include a modern version with updated visuals and gameplay. After the King of England is assassinated, the various lords wage battles to conquer as much land as possible and proclaim themselves as the new king. Apparently, this game is on
Okay.
the yes.
So the graphics for this, I don't know how to describe it. There are elements of it that are like really high resolution, but the cut scenes and the basic gameplay are very
Old school.
there's different elements, right? So there are some that are like modern what are those games that they're always hawking on YouTube channels? The League of Legend and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
kind of
yeah,
play.
yeah.
But then there's elements of it that are very like late 80s, early 90s pixel art type stuff.
Well, apparently you can flip between both. That they made.
Oh,
that
is that what it is?
Yes.
I see. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
I just love.
Interesting.
I love the cover. Look at that. You got the two knights fighting on horseback. The fair maiden looks like she's a damsel in distress. I mean, this looks interesting, and it's a. I think it's supposed to be sort of historically accurate, right? I mean, is this?
I guess.
Is this Richard the
Big Al
Lionheart?
might
Maybe
be able to tell us
when he
more
dies?
than. But let me tell you, this looks actually pretty good too. This one's up for, you could put this on your wish list too. Releasing in 2026 apparently. So there you go.
Defender of the Crown, nice title. You must have played it back in the day. This was a big this was a big PC title, mainly for like Amiga computers, if you could afford, like the Commodore Amiga. It was on that, and it's one of these games. I didn't get it on the NES because I was poor. I could only afford to get so many games, but I don't know. It looks interesting that they're remaking it. I never thought they'd remake Defender of the Crown because it's it's not really dragons and things like that. It's basically just medieval England. That's what it takes place in. But yeah. Oh, it's not coming out on anything I own, so forget it. Okay, this is what happens. Jesse, you'll be in better shape than me in a few paychecks. All right. Oh no! Can we go back to the fun stuff?
I mean,
I remember I was talking about this a few months ago, and as usual, like Charlie Brown with the football, I'm like, this looks promising, right?
Oh gosh.
I know Critical Drinker gave it a not so good review. Apparently, it's a very feminist movie. Guess which studio released this?
Was this no,
not Universal.
It wasn't Universal. It was
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers, yeah. Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers Pictures had every reason to feel confident heading into last weekend. The studio was riding a 9-film back-to-back #1 opening streak. That remarkable run included blockbusters like Sinners and Wuthering Heights. Then The Bride opened, and it opened badly. Maggie Gyllenhaal's long-awaited sophomore directorial debut, a reimagining of The Bride of Frankenstein, starring Jessie Buckley and Christian Bale, earned just $7.3 million domestically over its opening weekend, placing it third at the box office. Globally, the film brought in $13.6 million, combined against an $80 million production budget before marketing costs of roughly $65 million. The marketing costs are getting to be almost as large as the actual movie production itself.
Well, that is the intended budget. They say if you're spending this much on a movie, you should spend about the same amount on marketing. Because think about it. If you're not marketing it with as much gusto as you're making it, how do you get that word out there, right? The problem is marketing is failing. They're not doing what they need to do to get good word of mouth for their productions. They're not making the most of the money that they're spending, but at the same time, they're wasting all kinds of money on the production side with reshoots and stupidity.
They're saying the film could lose somewhere in the neighborhood of $90 million before its streaming run. This is while Warner Brothers is still trying to sell.
And don't be mistaken. It doesn't make more money when it goes to streaming. It's done making money when it goes to streaming.
I'm starting to wonder whether Warner Brothers gets sold to Paramount or not. Zaslav already made off with a bunch because of the inflated stock value, right?
Yep.
Warner Brothers distribution chief Jeffrey Goldstein was gracious in defeat in a text message to the press. Goldstein acknowledged the miss, but defended the studio's approach. We're coming off an incredible run of 9 number one openings in a row, and an increasingly risk-averse business like ours. We believe the business is better served with studios taking bold swings on originals like
of the
this
Lily
one.
Makes you feel better, pal, go for it. But we know it's a failure. And you know why it's a failure. And if you continue to work with people that are going to continue to work this way, you will continue to see failure.
Did you have any interest in this movie?
I absolutely did not. I
was kind of excited because I thought Universal's not doing monster movies. How about Warner Brothers?
You do kind of have to look beyond the marketing on things like this and go, what is Maggie Gyllenhaal doing lately? What is she saying? Oh, okay, I know what this movie's going to be. Screw that bullcrap.
So what went wrong? Several things converged at once. The movie was asking audiences to pay for an R-rated gothic period horror romance that critics themselves couldn't clearly define. Was it a punk rock monster movie, a feminist empowerment thriller, a Bonnie and Clyde love story? Testing apparently flagged this identity problem early, but the film went forward. And while both Buckley and Bale are genuinely praised for their performances, Buckley is currently the Oscar frontrunner for Best Actress for an entire different film, Hamnet. Oh, she's the lead in that, isn't she? Okay, that buzz may have actually worked against The Bride, since audiences who wanted to see Buckley could wait for her in a different, more celebrated film arriving on streaming any day. There's also The Shadow of Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, which premiered at Venice last August and has spent months as a critical darling on Netflix, accumulating 9 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture. Having 2 major Frankensteins adjacent films this close together was always going to be a problem, even if the 2 movies look almost nothing alike.
Well, and here's the other thing. This is where this is the kind of thing I'm talking about when it comes to marketing. Marketing should have been aware of all of these things. It's literally their job to be aware of these things and said, you know what? Well, this actually was a long time in the making. So either hurry up and get this out or put this on the effing shelf. One of the two.
We continue with another story. 5 reasons The Bride was dead on arrival at the box office. Let's see if you agree.
Yeah.
What?
I can give you more than 5, but let's see if they get the same 5 I would have gotten.
It's alive, but not exactly showing signs of life. The Bride director Maggie Gyllenhaal's punk rock feminist reinterpretation of The Bride of Frankenstein flatlined at the box office with 7.3 million domestically and 13.6 million globally in its first weekend of release. That's a terrible result given that Warner Brothers spent 90 million to produce an R-rated monster movie, not including reported 65 million on marketing expenses. Set in the 1930s, The Bride that time. They should have Richard Zegler in this movie, complaining about the 1930s. Okay. The Bride follows a very lonely Frankenstein monster, Christian Bale, and his undead love interest, Jessie Buckley, as deranged outlaws on the run. Middling reviews, frighteningly bad audience scores, and puzzling release date didn't help the turnout for The Bride, which landed widely behind the studio's projections of 16 million to 18 million domestically and 40 million globally. This ends a remarkable winning streak for Warner Brothers after a string of 9 number one hits, including a Minecraft movie, Sinners, Weapons, and Wuthering Heights. That's another movie I don't want to see, is Wuthering Heights.
There have been some good adaptations of that out there. You don't need another one.
Especially, I think it doesn't follow the book at all.
I was going to say, if you feel like you need another adaptation, you don't. Go back and read the book again.
So
I think you'd enjoy it, to be honest with you.
So this is Variety Autopsies 5 Reasons Why The Bride. Inauspicious release date. The Bride was originally scheduled on October 3rd, 2025, which made sense given its proximity to Halloween. Yeah, that makes sense to me, but what do I know? There's a reason that horror movies tend to thrive during the spookiest month of the year, so then why would Warner Brothers executives relocate the film? Spoiler alert, the Halloween song Monster Mash plays over the end credits to a time as random as early March. Sure, this calendar placement has been favorable to studio's recent tentpoles, including The Batman and Dune Part 2, but The Bride might have done nominally better in theaters during the Season of the Dead. I don't like that phrase, the Season of the Dead.
Yeah.
Too much Frankenstein, too little time. Second reason number 2. One reason The Bride was pushed to 2026 was to distance itself from Guillermo del Toro's take on Frankenstein, starring Jacob Elordi as the stitched-together monster known as the Creature. The movie, which premiered late last August at Venice Film Festival and landed on Netflix in November, has remained in the cultural conversation as an awards player. Frankenstein was nominated for 9 Oscars, including Best Picture. Even though Gyllenhaal and Del Toro's movies are vastly different, the gothic subject matter was too similar to be released just a few months apart. Hollywood, maybe it's time to put a pin in Mary Shelley adaptations. Budget's gone wild. The Bride cost way too much for an R-rated genre-bending crime story with art house ambitions. You know what this reminds me of? Joker Filet-O-Deux. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
When Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdy began crafting the slate at Warner Brothers Motion Picture Group co-chairs, they placed big emphasis on expensive, auteur-driven swings. It paid off in the case of Sinners, an Oscar darling that generated 370 million globally against a 90 million budget. And much of the studio's 2025 slate was populated by commercial winners such as a Minecraft movie and Final Destination 6. But so far, the other gambles lost a lot of money. Joker's Filet of Fish was rejected with 2. If they had just done a Joker movie about the laughing fish story from Batman, that would have been.
I know, right?
Do that as a feature. We can't do that. We can't. Let's see. 2025 sci-fi satire Mickey 17 stumbled with 117 million against 118 million budget. And one battle after another, awards frontrunner only generated 209 million against 140 million dollar budget. In a note to press Sunday morning, Warner Brothers defined the results of The Bride by writing, "In an increasingly risk-averse business like ours, we believe the business." But I know we already heard this nonsense. Okay. Next thing is a press tour that forgot to sell the movie.
Yeah. See?
Apparently, audiences don't want to hear how the monster was stitched together. During the promotional circuit, Gyllenhaal spent a lot of time talking about the film's tragic test screenings when she needed to be convincing the masses to buy a ticket. Meanwhile, her star Buckley was busy on the award circuit as the front runner in the Oscars Best Actress for Hamnet. Then again, there was probably a reason the cast didn't want to do a ton of publicity. And the last reason is audience rejection. It's as simple as that. Reviews were weak, but moviegoers were downright dismissive, saddling the bride with a C+ grade on CinemaScore exit polls. When word of mouth is that lethal, there's no amount of marketing magic or charming stories of late night talk shows that can convince people to get off the couch. That's the scary truth. So, do you agree with all that?
Yeah, but I think they're leaving out the one big one that, of course, they're not going to touch. And that's Maggie Gyllenhaal going out and making her political commentaries that immediately are causing not only half of your audience, in other words, the half that's not going to agree with you politically, as well as the people that would ordinarily agree with you go, I'm sick and tired of the political BS. Even if I agree with you, look, I am more and more turning against people I normally politically agree with because they're insufferable. I am sick and tired of it. And people are staying home as a result. They're like, oh, this is another one of those preachy political films? I don't know. Maybe this movie wasn't. But we've seen it happen enough times where people say, this is a reaction to Trump. This is a reaction to the patriarchy. This is a reaction to, okay, well, I'm not interested. I don't need another one of those.
Well, you know what she was
saying?
saying.
And then it turns out that it's not. It turns out that maybe it's not. It's just you needed to get that off your chest. Well, great. You just kept most of your audience at home because you had to get that off your chest. Genius.
She was saying, I think, in an interview that this was the story that Mary Shelley would have told if it hadn't been to all the restrictions.
Yeah, but nobody wants to hear the story she would have told if she was you. We want to hear the story that she actually did tell, right? And ironically, we were given the movie Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and it did a great job until suddenly it wasn't Mary Shelley's Frankenstein anymore.
Until it's Helena Bonham Carter shooting out electricity or something. I don't.
Until she self-immolates, and it's like, no, Mary Shelley did not tell a story where Elizabeth was reanimated.
We should do
not Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
We should do a stream sometime, maybe in the fall, about classic monster movies that almost got it right, and then they didn't stick the landing. Like they start out well.
We'll start with Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, then we'll go to Bram Stoker's Dracula, right? The movies that were close but had to do something different.
They had to do their own thing.
Yeah, it's like, well, then you failed.
I mean, to be fair, Hammer did its own thing, and that was sometimes hit or miss, but more hit than miss. Yeah. I like the idea of setting a Bride of Frankenstein movie. I think making musical, though, I'm not sure of that. I don't know. I would have. I wasn't necessarily against this idea, but then it looked not good. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Lost. Oh, TV news. Look at this. Lost Doctor Who episodes found in eclectic collection.
This one came up during. What stream was I on? Was I doing where someone brought? Oh, it was last Thursday during Netters Network. We were just doing our thing, and I think it was Tim came in and said, "Hey, this just announced," and I pulled it up live, and I'm like, "Hey, that's great!" But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it now.
Yeah. So I of course have heard stories about I think Tomb of the Cybermen was found in a monastery somewhere, or maybe it was a Tibetan monastery for all I know, and because I remember growing up when Tomb of the Cybermen was always lauded, and too bad this has been lost for all time. You could buy the screenplay of it, and I always wanted to watch it, and then suddenly it turns up, you know, and this happens with Doctor Who every so often. A cardboard box found in a collector's ramshackle collection of vintage films contained 2 episodes of Doctor Who that had not been viewed since airing in the late 1960s, what we call lost media, I guess.
Right.
The episodes feature the first incarnation of the Doctor, played by William Hartnell, tackling a Dalek plan to take over Earth, the solar system, and the galaxy, in a storyline only ever shown in the United Kingdom.
Yep.
Peter Purves, who played the doctor's assistant, Stephen Taylor, was invited to the Phoenix Cinema in Leicester on Wednesday under false pretenses to view 2 episodes, and he said, "My flabber has never been so gasted."
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
That's a very British thing to say.
Yeah.
Okay. Restored version of the episodes will be released on the BBC iPlayer this Easter. Look at this. The first
Yep.
episode, titled "The Nightmare Begins," was part of the 3rd season of Doctor Who and was aired in November 1965. I will say this, for all my reservations about AI, I would imagine AI could even take an old VHS recording and figure out a way to get it to look proper.
Well, keep in mind that we're not even talking about things that have a VHS, rendition of it out there. This is such lost media that all we have is the audio. We also have what's called telesnaps, which were the actors that were in the show would hire a professional photographer to come and take photographic shots of each scene for the actors to use in their portfolios. Those still exist, and an outfit called Loose Cannon has taken those telesnaps and those audios and made essentially slideshows of all the missing episodes. Some of those have been superseded by the BBC deciding to do animated features where they recreate the visuals in animation, mostly for the Second Doctor. I have every one that the BBC has released, and I also have all of the telesnap loose cannons, which I'm actually going through. Tonight we will be doing Doctor Who. I do this every late night Sunday night, 11:30 Central. We're going from the very first episode, Unearthly Child, and we are still within the first season. Tonight is part 2 of The Keys of Marinus, but we just finished Marco Polo, which was all telesnaps, all lost episodes. So by the time we get to the Daleks Master Plan, which I believe these 2 are from, I will be able to share those with you in order. So yeah. There you go.
The first episode, titled "The Nightmare Begins," was part of the 3rd season of Doctor Who and was aired in November 1965. Is this the Dalek serial that had the Mekons in it, or the Mechanoids?
I honestly don't remember. I get a little confused sometimes.
Because there was a wonderful fake trailer made up for, with Daleks versus Mekons, which was supposed to be the 3rd Doctor Who movie. But I find out later on, well, this was actually based on an old Doctor Who serial. Because they did the first 2 Dalek serials. This is if they had done a 3rd movie based on a 3rd Dalek serial.
And I can tell you this: we had just finished doing the original Dalek 7-part serial, and while we were doing those over the span of like 3-4 weeks or whatever, Netter and I watched the film with Peter Cushing, and on the one hand we were amazed at how much of the story they condensed down into 2 hours. Honestly, the pacing for some of these episodes is very slow. So you could take a 7-part episode, condense it down into 2 hours, and not really lose any story. But at the same time, they also changed some major elements of the characters' interactions. First, the Doctor is not, an alien from another time and place. He is a human inventor.
Professor.
Yeah. And he's actually called Doctor Who. His name is Doctor Who. And his granddaughter, Susan, is the younger sister of his other granddaughter, Barbara, who in the actual series was her teacher at the Coal Hill School. And of course, Chesterton is dating Barbara. And that is his whole reason for being there, as opposed to also being a teacher at the Coal Hill School, who is a teacher of Susan's as well. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah.
The second recovered episode, Devil's Planet, was broadcast 2 weeks later. Interviewing episode Days of Armageddon was found in 2004 by former BBC engineer, meaning we now have the first 3 installments of the Daleks' master plan, so only 9 episodes left to find.
Well, I mean,
written by
every incremental what do you call it, step is good in replacing this lost media.
Written by the creator of the Daleks, Terry Nation, and Dennis Spooner. The serial starred Hartnell and Purves alongside an early appearance of Nicholas Courtney as Brett Vian, Adriana Hill as Katarina, and Kevin Stoney as Mavic Chen. Courtney would go on to play a reoccurring character we came to know as the Brigadier. So,
yes,
not playing the Brigadier in the special, but he's in it. Dark and gritty 12-part storyline was ordered to be wiped, more than half of the remaining episodes still missing. So how did they become the first Lost Doctor episodes we announced to the world since 2013? The work of Leicester Charitable Trust film Fabulous is behind what had become the longest gap between Lost episodes being covered to an end. Many previous Lost episodes have been found in archives of TV stations overseas, including the last episodes found, which have been recovered from a Nigerian TV station.
Yep.
But with the Daleks master plan, that story was not sold overseas. Why did they sell this one overseas? It sounds incredible. Because of Daleks, come on. it's what more do you want?
As I recall, I think it had something to do with an element of it that one country wasn't interested in it because of that, and so they decided it wasn't worthwhile in the general international market, and that really hurts it, because then it was only seen in the UK. A lot of these lost episodes were never seen in the United States. They were never sold here. They were never broadcast. And so the only way that fans of Doctor Who were able to catch up on stories they missed mostly was the novelizations. There were novelizations of all these story arcs. And then later, like the telesnaps and, the loose cannon, when the internet became a thing,
Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, censors in Australia and New Zealand deemed it too violent and without their buy-in.
That's what it was,
yeah. Combined with the move towards color, the black and white story was thought to have little future value and consigned to the bin. But you know what drives me crazy? And I know that with some of the older Doctor episodes, I think they were starting to colorize them. Some of us like black and white. Okay.
Yeah. And in the case of the Marco Polo that we just watched, this was interesting. It was filmed in black and white, but the telesnaps all exist in color.
Interesting.
So this was the first color episode, if you want to call it that, that we watched that was, actually in color. Yeah.
So listen to this, though. Combined with the movie, but copies of some episodes are still made by technicians to check for problems which might need to be fixed ahead of pitching the episodes to other markets. It was these versions that made their way to an amateur collection. Professor of Cinema and Television History at Leicester's De Montfort University, Justin Smith, chair of trustees at FIF, said a debt of gratitude was owed to the anonymous late collector, whose films largely focus on his love for trains and canals, included hundreds of home videos that were donated to FIF after he died. He said, "We travel all over the country to recover film collections from private hands. A lot of films have suffered water damage and the cans have corroded. These are gems in what was an eclectic and ramshackle collection, a lot of which hadn't been looked after as well as the Doctor Who had. The collector did recognize what he had, but how he acquired it. How he acquired them has been lost to time. News of the discovery left actor Purvis 87 tearing up after traveling to Leicester on Wednesday to attend what he believed was going to be interviews with the media about television in the 1960s. Learning the real reason he'd been lured to the venue was a perfect lie, he said. I'm speechless, knocked out. After viewing the first 2 episodes, he said, "My flabber has never been so gasted." I get it. Okay,
I like that. Yeah,
funny. But I've never forgiven the BBC for losing those episodes. It would be really nice to get a few royalties perhaps added.
Yeah, right.
I'm not sure I even saw those programs go out originally. I remember the stories, but having seen them, the pictures are unfamiliar to me. Okay. I didn't remember the first ones when I was still almost comatose following an injury I received fighting in the Fighting in Troy and the Wonderful Myth Makers,
Yeah.
which of course is missing. Oh, that must have been another Doctor Who thing.
It was there. Yeah. I've seen again. I have the telesnaps of it. Never actually seen it live action, which is very, very unfortunate. Some of these great ones, some of the best ones, really, were the historical ones. So I've talked about the fact that originally BBC had sort of had plans that Doctor Who was going to be somehow educational, teaching history and stuff.
Yes.
And they did a number of episodes that focused on the history. So you had Marco Polo, you had Troy, and so forth. But unfortunately, those are the ones that were kind of lost to time, and the ones that did better in their time were the more fanciful sci-fi ones. So,
like with the Celestial Toy Maker, things like that.
Exactly, stuff like that.
But yeah, let's see. It was the 4th appearance of the Daleks, and it'll be exciting to fans for a lot of reasons. He said the fans of Doctor Who are legion, and they seriously love the classic times. You have to give credit to old school Doctor Who. They realized the Daleks were a popular thing, so they would have them pop over.
And they honestly did try to reproduce that lightning in a bottle. So, like right now, we're watching the Keys of Marinus, and the aliens that were in there. They had a big marketing push. They made toys and stuff like that, and they just didn't catch on.
Nope.
They were not as interesting.
Yeah, like the Dominators, the guys that created the Dominators, the Patrick Troughton episode, they were doing that. They made, and they had the little robot helpers. They were doing that precisely so they could own the rights to one of these big robot things.
Right.
But they never took off either. And they got upset because because they had worked on a lot of Dalek episodes too, and they were like, why does this survive? Or maybe they worked on Cybermen episodes because I think Terry Nation's alive. Like, why does the Dominators survive and not some of these other classics we worked so hard on?
And we that's a question you can never really answer, because it really does require an understanding of the time, the culture, and honestly just how it was received. And I don't think they even understood at the time, let alone now, because you look back at the Daleks, right? There's this whole idea that the children of the era were afraid of the Daleks, and they hid behind the couch when the Daleks came out.
Yes.
And that's a commonly said, thing in British culture. And yet nobody can say, yeah, I was so afraid of the Daleks, I hid behind the couch. They just said, yeah, we heard that about our friends, and it became, this kind of thing about the Daleks, to the point where when they bring back the Daleks in the post-2005 era, you have people like the Doctor and Jack Harkness and whatnot reacting with absolute fear, like it's the Daleks, we're all dead, right? And all the humans who have no idea who the Daleks are like, what? And then, yeah, they turn out to be pretty bad, pretty nasty, So they understood the mythos behind the Doctors and played into that, but historically they couldn't reproduce that with most of the other creatures. You fall into it accidentally with like the weeping angels, and stuff like that, but you can't do it on purpose. It just doesn't work.
No, it's accidental usually. You throw things, because like there've been a lot of cool Doctor Who monsters over the years I felt deserved another shot, like the Tractators during the Peter Davidson era. I thought they were terrifying. The caterpillar looking things.
Yeah.
Where I think they actually would burrow into a planet, not just to take over the planet, but to actually use the planet to then move it like throughout space, and I think attack other planets with. These are horrible creatures. Apparently Turlough had some ancestral memory of it, and when he saw them he freaked out because they were on a future Earth colony that was being attacked by the Tractators, and Turlough, being an alien, knew what they were. For his people's dealing with them. They actually were going to use them again, I think, during the Colin Baker era, but that was during the time where that season got lost because of the strike and everything else that was going on, and Doctor Who being put on moratorium and everything. So,
and then there was a lot of fighting about Doctor Who in the backdrop, and some people that didn't want Doctor Who to continue. So,
yeah. Speaking of things not continuing,
yeah.
Wow, I kind of didn't see this coming, actually. Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot is not moving forward. Sarah Michelle Gellar confirms the Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot is not moving forward. Sarah Michelle Gellar confirmed via Instagram video on March 14th. I wanted you all to hear from me. Unfortunately, Hulu has decided not to move forward, the actress said. Buffy the Vampire Slayer new Sunnydale was set to focus on a new Slayer, with Gellar appearing in a reoccurring role and serving as an executive producer. The Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot is no more. Sarah Michelle Gellar confirmed that the planned project, which would come over 2 decades after Buffy's final bow, is not moving forward. So I'm really sad to have to share this, but I wanted you to hear it from me. The actress 48 said via Instagram video shared on Saturday, March 14th. Unfortunately, Hulu has decided not to move forward with Buffy New Sunnydale. She continued referring to the streamer which backed the series and the title for the reboot. Thanking Chloe Zhao, who was directing the project. Geller then said, I never thought I would find myself back in Buffy's stylish yet affordable boots. And thanks to Chloe, I was reminded how much I love her and how much she means not only to me, but to all of you. And this doesn't change any of that. Question, was there a pilot made?
I have no idea. I can only tell you that I have, and I loved Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The original movie, I loved the entire series. I loved all of it. I even loved Angel, which wasn't as good, but it was okay. But when I heard that this was not moving forward, I was like that meme. Oh no. Anyway, because honestly, at this point, I'm like, I don't have any faith in the people that would be involved in this. Joss Whedon wouldn't be involved in it. I no longer care for Misopinionated here. She's we were talking about this earlier with the bride. You go ahead and you say some stupid crap that piss off half of your fan base. Don't be surprised when half your fan base isn't supporting you anymore.
Lynn Green did bring up a Firefly series. I just read the article today. We might talk about next week. It's going to be an animated series.
It literally was just announced today, and that's exactly what the fans were predicting, was that it was going to be an animated series. That one, on the other hand, another Joss Whedon project, right, is in fact moving forward, again, without Joss Whedon, but the announcement from Nathan Fillion is that almost all of the pieces are in place to make it happen. What it requires more than anything is an expression from the fans that they want it to happen. Now, this is where I say this is where the big difference is. Firefly, the fans are united. Buffy, she divided the fan base. Yeah. So good luck. You're done. You're out. So sad.
With Firefly, though, I think Lynn was mentioning it's going to ignore the movie. It could be that it takes place between where the first season ended and the movie, because the movie apparently was actually a storyline Whedon had mapped out, I think either from the end of the second or third season. So there would have been other stories before that movie in the timeline of Firefly.
Then Joss Whedon should just do a book. He should just do a book and get it out.
Well, he wanted to do it as a series, but they canceled it. Of course, he's not going to be involved, so who knows how it's going to be.
They freaking canceled him, so I mean,
We covered that in the early days of this show, yes. Oh, Discorp doesn't have the rights to the movie. Oh, that's one of these rights issues.
Right. That's exactly, well, I'm not going to say that's exactly what Nathan Fillion said. He was purposely oblique about it, but he said that Disney was positive about it. But it needs a home, is what he said. Nice. And I read that as, they need to get through the rights issues. But I think they can get through the rights issues if there is enough, fan support that says, oh, yeah, there's money to be made here. Let's figure this out.
Universal put out the Firefly movie. Mm-hmm. Universal owns the rights to elements of that plot, whereas I think it was Fox that owned the series.
Yep.
Let
This isn't the first time
Yes.
we've seen something like this. We saw the same thing with Batman 66,
Yes.
where Fox and Warner Brothers owned different elements of it, and they eventually realized neither one of us is making anything on this. We're both holding an empty bag if we continue this way. Better to make half of something than 100% of nothing, you know?
I agree. Moving on to. Oh. uh okay,
Yeah.
this is a follow-up from last week. Now I want to give my own update.
Following this is just kind of fun and funny, so this is why it's worth doing.
Well,
you know?
guess who got himself one of these Whoppers this week?
Did you really?
Actually,
Okay.
yes. Food. We tried the new and improved Whopper at Burger King. Is it really better? This is from I think I like the name of this site. It's hold on, what's the name of this site? Sporked.com. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
That
Okay.
is kind of funny. Yeah.
Anyway, I don't eat a lot of fast food burgers, kind of like the McDonald's CEO. Am I right? Yeah, that's funny. I should give credit to her of this. But when
There's
I do,
actually a I don't know if someone from Burger King did this or what it was, but there's an AI going around of him doing that commercial and then pulling back, so that you can see the people filming
Yeah.
it, and he's like throwing it down, going, oh.
yeah, it's basically just, I know that thing ended up in the trash anyway. But
Right.
when I do, I'm a Whopper guy. I love that you can smell Burger King a block away. I love the flavor of their flame broiled patties. And I have to admit, I kind of love the sheer amount of mayonnaise they put on their hamburgers. Like, sure, if you're going to go for it, really go for it. What I'm saying is Whoppers pretty much rule. So what did they fix? Pros, I do think they fixed up the bun a little bit. As I said, I'm not downing these suckers every day or anything, but the bun always seemed to be an afterthought. Now that I think about it, maybe the buns were always a little bit dry and brittle. Anyway, the bun is good now. It's very soft and tasted a little bit sweet. My colleague Justine Sterling thought it tasted a little bit like a Hawaiian roll. I don't think there was ever a problem with their mayo, and there still isn't. It's great. As for the box, sure, it's a cardboard, but so it doesn't seem to be hugely wasteful and definitely keeps the burger from getting all squashed if it winds up at the bottom of a bag of other items. Cons, if you don't like Whoppers and we're hoping for some sort of major Jim Carrey style facelift, you're probably disappointed. This is still a Whopper, and that's positive, and I sort of doubt that anyone who doesn't work at Burger King R&D department could tell the difference if they were tasting new burger alongside an old one. All in all, it's a good sandwich, one you'll take a normal human being sized bite out of. I'm going to tell you my own experience with the new and improved Whopper. I got this new and improved Whopper. I got the combo with the onion rings. The onion rings still kind of suck. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself. Anyway, but I open up the box with the Whopper in it, and one thing I'll say, it's very neat looking. It's not sloppy like they usually are, with
I
stuff
see what you're
falling
saying, yeah.
all over the sides. It's in
I
a little
kind of got
wrapper.
that from the way it was described in this article. The fact that it comes like in a box,
Yes.
as opposed to being wrapped, so it doesn't get mashed. That in and of itself is an improvement. Right?
And it tasted fine. It tasted like a Whopper. Bun was a little different, but I think the bun's an improvement. And I think what they did, and maybe fast food companies and other companies in general need to look at this and say, maybe it's not about you having to compete with the other big thing. Maybe it's just doing what you do well and making it better and just making it a good experience. I've heard. Yeah, go ahead.
This may sound like a bit of a side thing, but it is about fast food. There's a channel that I follow that is looking into, the last remaining this place and the last this and so on and so forth. He did one on Arthur Treacher's a while back and whatnot. He did one just recently, and we'll probably have to talk about this in a future instance, about the late 80s, early 90s Pizza Huts kind of making a comeback. We'll talk about that another time, but in looking into that, he found out that the company that owns or has owned Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, and KFC, and remember, they used to be all three in one, connected restaurant type thing, where
Kentucky
you go-
Huts, yes.
Kentucky Huts, yes.
Yes.
He said it doesn't look like those are coming back because it looks like the Pizza Hut part is going to be sold off. And I'm looking at that going, good. You may be nostalgic for Kentucky Hut. I never was, because I remember when KFC, their brand was, we do one thing and we do it right.
Yes.
And that's essentially what you're getting at. It's a basic good business principle, in general. So I agree with you.
Can we get, they're selling Pizza Hut off, is that what you're saying?
It sounds like it, yes.
I want a return of the sit-down Pizza Hut restaurants.
We'll talk about that, and we'll maybe in a couple of weeks we'll talk about that on Geeky Geezers. I'll get you an article on that because yes, I think they are coming back.
I want that back so badly. It was a highlight of the 80s, and I miss
Agreed.
it. And I think this is the way forward. And you can still get pizzas to go from there, but have a sit-down restaurant where people can go in and sit down. Yeah, that's what I would do. Figure out a way to do both and do it well.
I agree.
But yeah, but I'm just saying that it's funny because I talked to I was watching a video about these young American guys doing the English language classes in Japan.
Yeah.
And they were basically saying that in Japan you're always going to be seen as a gaijin. You have to just accept that. But you just accept that you're an expat gaijin living in Japan. But there are things that they still like about Japan. And one of the things they said, like, you buy a bag of chips over there, you open it up, it opens up easily. Like, all the little things work, whereas in America, when you try opening up some of these plastic things, you tear the bag open, things go flying everywhere. Because over there, they just make sure everything works right. And I kind of saw this Burger King Whopper as them just doing that, just doing what they do, but just doing it better so it works proper. And we need more of that in the United States, okay? So, I mean,
Very
probably
much
need more of
agree.
it throughout the world, but for heaven's sakes, you're an American company. All right. Oh.
So
got
I
said
just
something.
dropped. I just dropped this to you.
Ooh.
It's the channel I was talking about. I found a '90s Pizza Hut with the all-you-can-eat buffet.
I remember those. Yeah.
And
Dessert pizza.
he was saying that and this is Sam Reed on YouTube at, I believe it's at Sam Reed. Let me double check that. At the real Sam Reed, REID. And what he did was he was looking for both the retro style Pizza Hut with the buffet. Now, he said he was able to easily find both, but not overlapping. It's like a Venn diagram. It's retro, or it's got the buffet, but finding the two together was a little bit more challenging. But there are some. He also had to double check that the buffet, when the buffet was, and all the buffets were just during lunchtime. And I kind of felt like you're probably too young to remember this, but the buffets always were just a lunchtime buffet.
Oh yeah.
They never were all the time.
Oh no, it was strictly lunch. Yeah.
So I don't expect them to change that. I prefer that they didn't. But
salad bar was always there, as I recall. But
the salad bar was always there, and that was the other thing. He said, I found salad bars that didn't have the pizza bar. So it's one after the other. But check out the video yourself, and we'll come back to this topic another night to talk about the Pizza Hut portion of it. But I think the retro is the way to go. Yeah.
One battle after another. One best picture.
Are you serious?
That's what deleted scenes just said.
Then I'm glad I didn't waste my time. I really am. And you know what? I will probably never watch the Oscars ever again or care about it ever. It's done. It is not for people who actually care about cinema.
So remember Pizza at KFC and Taco Bell, Star Wars commercial for Phantom Menace. I remember those, Jesse.
Yeah.
Remember it was the Colonel, it was the Taco Bell dog, who has since been canceled, and you also had the pizza delivery girl. They were the three people that saved the galaxy.
Yes.
Moving on to our final story of the night. I just found this funny.
Yeah.
I if you read my description, I said Nathan Lane tells Chalamet to STFU or something. It's not. I don't. That's not exactly what he said, but here we go. Nathan Lane has harsh words for schmuck Timothy Chalamet. Tells The View no one cares about ping pong. Okay, so this is a statement he made. Nathan Lane, who famously played an obsessive Maria Callas fan in Terrence Malick's play The Lisbon Traviata, has some harsh words for the opera and ballet bashing Timothy Chalamet on today's The View. Oh, what a schmuck, Lane shot when moderator Wigover asked his thoughts about Chalamet's CNN town hall comment that no one cares about ballet and opera anymore. I can tell you, the Eastern Europeans care about ballet still.
This is
Okay,
this is the problem I see with so many of these celebutards. They don't care about this stuff, and they are so egocentric. They assume the entire world thinks exactly the way they do. And I don't care if that's about politics, the things they like and don't like, any of that kind of stuff. Most intelligent people know that they are individuals that have opinions that some people will agree with and some people don't. And maybe you should be a little bit more, inclusive, and understand that there are people that disagree with you, and maybe try to be inclusive of those people in your inclusivity. Just saying.
It'd be nice, yeah. Let me see here, though. One doesn't want to give this more attention than it deserves, and yet it's kind of like kaleidoscope in its stupidity and insensitivity, yet strangely telling of where we are in this country. First of all, once you remember, people will be going to see Swan Lake and La Traviata long after someone at a dinner party says, "Who was Timothy Chalamet?" Oh, okay. And the bigger question is, why was there a town hall meeting with Matthew McConaughey and Timothy Chalamet? I mean, who deemed this meeting of the minds necessary? Why isn't there a town hall meeting with the Democrats discussing how to get? Okay, well, anyway, they get political because it's The View. Never mind. I just thought it was interesting, though. All right, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, if you are on my channel, make sure you stay right where you are. We are going to forward you over to deleted scenes for his reserved seats.
Yes.
As we do. And just remember, next week there is a Geeky Geezers, but no Troy. And you're going to
letting him go.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm hard to.
I have an AI version of myself. We're just going to talk to each other. Okay. Voice back and forth. I'm kidding. No, he'll be
but seriously, Deleted's going to have to set up the forward from his channel next week. Yeah. Because I know that you can't do that just yet. So that's why all of you guys need to be subscribed to Agent Boomer, because we need to get him. We need to get him enough subscribers so that he can forward people and do raids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't even mean like Shadow Legends or anything like that.
127 more.
Yeah, we need about 127 more. So get the word out. If every one of you were to invite your friends and have them invite a friend and so on and so on,
and how many of you have multiple accounts? Have all your accounts.
There you go. Do all the clicky things, man. Do it.
Clicky things. But then tonight, after reserve seats, though, you have Doctor Who, right?
Yeah, like I was just saying. Yeah, the part 2 of the well, keep in mind they're less than half-hour episodes, so I'm doing 2 a week. So we did the first 2 episodes of the Keys of Marinus last week. We'll do the next 2 tonight. No interruption in service, although there will not be a Doctor Who next week because I will be traveling and not able to set that up for you. So there you go.
And then Tuesday.
I was going to say all week
tomorrow?
This week.
Yeah.
All week this week. Monday and Tuesday I will be doing a liquid lunch. However, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday's liquid lunch will instead be a live premiere of a clip from Geeky Geezers. But I encourage you to still go check it out, especially if you might have missed these segments of Geeky Geezers. And it's still an opportunity for you guys to get together, have a lunch together, chit-chat with each other in the chat. by all means.
remember
Same thing on Friday. Friday night will be special pre-recorded, with a clip from Geeky Geezers. But all of that will be next week. We'll get back to the live performances when I return on the following Tuesday. But this Tuesday, you got deleted scenes with his super secret movie night, followed by live from Sparkwood and 21 with deleted scenes and Aged Boomer, not with Netter and myself. What are you going to talk about in our absence?
Well, I think there's a reality show that got canceled, which I'll be forwarding over to next week. But we have some other things to talk about. Probably. I don't know what we talk about next week. I guess we'll find out.
No. I meant what on Tuesday. What are you talking about for live?
Oh, Tuesday. I'm sorry. I think my Geekies. Tuesday for instead of Sparkwood and 21, we were going to be doing a one-time only an X-Files episode, because we always seem to kind of do nods to the X-Files during the Twin Peaks streams, and I'm kind of doing this to showcase, why the two things are similar, also why they're very unique from each other. So we'll do the second episode, named after a certain informant during the Nixon administration, also named after a certain type of movie that I can't say what type of movie it is on this channel. Anyway, but
you would definitely have to be an adult to watch that particular.
It's the second episode of the X-Files. So I'm not going to catch you up if you've not seen the first one. You can always catch it on Pluto TV. Has all the old X-Files are on there for free if you want to watch them. Not that you really had to, because let's face facts, in the old days, sometimes your first episode would be the second episode, because this is when you heard about the show. My friend at school said this cool show premiered Friday. I'll tune into the next one. I think it's one of the best episodes of the entire series. It's only the second episode. It's the episode that kind of hooked me. I'll say that. That's why I'm doing this one. All right.
And then right after that, if you are a fan of Sherlock Holmes and you've been following my rewatches of the Granada series, I have a live premiere of a video that I recorded. One of the short stories of Sherlock Holmes from his case files that was not translated into Granada. So I have put that video together. It will go live in the regular slot in my absence on Tuesday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern. No Thursday things on Netter's Network. Like I said, no live last call, although there will be a clip being played.
But y'all can go back and watch some of our old ones.
Always go back and watch our old ones. There's a lot of stuff out there for you to check out and catch up on that you might have missed. And that brings us to Saturday on Big Al Presents. I believe he and Deleted will be watching. I'm actually forgetting. It was a big monster movie. A big B bad monster movie, and I don't remember what it was. Oh, Q the winged something or other, the winged reptile.
Oh, I've heard that before. Yeah, wings. Something. Yeah.
So definitely check that out on Saturday. That is the week, and we should get everybody over to Deleted Scenes. Do you know how to end the stream, Agent Boomer?
I'm going to click the end broadcast button here, correct?
No, you're not. No.
Okay.
Don't do that, because then
I got to do the end credits. Sorry, yes, got to do the
end credits, and then after the end credits are done, then
you hit the end. So I'm going to hit the outro, and then we'll be all set.
Exactly.
Have a good night, everyone, and we'll catch you next time. There'll probably be some fresh stories from a certain convention.
You got it.
Yep.
Take care, guys.
Bye, everyone.